Mr. President, let's shift on to other topics.
What up, guys? Yeah, it's all good. I can hear. Who, me? 11. I'm gonna try and be here for the start. If we're gonna do the 11, I'm gonna try and be here for the start, and I can be here for a couple of hours, like maybe 4 or 5 hours after that, and then I don't know my availability until later at night around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that, when my kids go to bed. But I mean, I'll be around the house, right? So if something happens or I'm needed, I could like get on, right? And I'll be checking in sporadically throughout the 12 hours as well. Yeah, yeah. I'm good with whatever. So I run regularly 2 3 hours. I run the 3 hour endurance sometimes on my own. So I have no problem. Whatever everyone wants, right? Yeah, two stints. Yeah, yeah. That's perfect for me. That works. Okay. Yeah. That would actually be the best. If what I was thinking is the fastest should probably do the qualifying. So mitix, I would assume you're the fastest, and maybe start. And then what would be best for me is then I would take over for my 2 hour stint there. I'll be here. I'll try and be there for that total of your stint as well, to like give you company and stuff. Um, and then throughout the day I'll be checking in, and I'll be available. But like, I've got 3 kids, right? So I got to kind of do that as well. Um, yeah, it's not the kids so much. It's more the wife. She's not happy when she. Yeah, that's perfect. That's good with me. 4 of us, yeah, yeah, just about, yeah. All right, even if I just run my one stint, because the thing is, I want everybody to remember too. If we sign up for it, we get disqualified if someone doesn't run at least one stint, right? So I know we're doing this one for fun, but we kind of wanted to like actually see how we could do in it. So I was yeah, so yeah, just think about that as well. But yeah, as for that, just like you said too, my wife knows, and we kind of planned around this. So again, like if people have stuff going on, or if like I was hoping that we could have two people on at a time, but I know that's not always going to be possible. That wouldn't be a problem. But if like a computer crashes, like mine has crashed before, and I was by myself, so it's kind of like, well, there's not nothing I could do, right? So, at least qualifying, it starts at 11, I believe. Let's double check that real quick. Yeah, we'll post them up. Uh,
I did all my laps, and I was comfortable. I don't like the front. I would like to have more front, but getting more front means destabilizing the rear. So
yeah,
it's a very good setup for the race. Very good setup.
yeah. At the end of the race, for me, after I get, I want to say 12 or 13 laps in, I do have to extend my braking point just a little bit to get the car slowed down for the front end, like Dirty had said. But that's just a me thing. So, but
No, no,
I like the setup perfectly. I've
no.
ran like multiple 1 hour races on it and stuff, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
I just moved the brake balance a little back on the second setup.
Oh,
A little
okay.
back. Okay.
I'm right at 50. I'm right at 50, where the other one was more in front.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll try that tonight. I'm gonna run a couple laps here and
And that's something that might, if you feel you're getting loose after so many laps and you don't like it, you could move your balance 2-3 points to the front, and now it stabilizes the rear because you're not braking as much on the rear.
Okay.
I
Okay.
like it because it's a handbrake. I like the trail brake type of thing.
Mhm.
And if you put it a little more to the back, it's the handbrake effect. It helps
Yep.
turn the car by
Helps bring the
oversteering.
yeah,
Yeah.
bring the front of the car around.
Okay, that might help me
Yep.
with my front tire situation then.
Yeah,
Right
so
there.
I also notice on the Ferrari, if you brake late, you're gonna get the performance, but 4 or 5 laps down the road, the front get too warm, and now the whole car gets greasy and shitty. So I'm faster braking earlier with this car than braking all the way late, or I'm
Yeah.
faster longer. I'm
Okay.
consistently fast, braking a little earlier and keeping the temps where they are, and that's at night. I think the car is gonna come alive with the setup,
It
and we're
does.
gonna take a couple of
It
seconds.
it
Yeah,
feels nice at night. I've ran into the evening with it a couple of times. It definitely starts to
That's
it calms down a little bit. You can still push, but the car's a little more calm.
That's actually
yeah.
something that we had talked about from me watching the actual 24. They were talking about the Ferrari, just like a snippet on there of it. And in real life too, they said that's when the Ferrari really comes to life in real life as well. Because
Nice.
if you set it up right, because of the back slippage and everything, when it gets cooler at
Yeah.
night and everything, that track helps. Which if you watch the race or the highlights at the very end, the last lap pass by the Ferrari showed exactly. He tracked him down the last couple of hours in the cooler temperatures and stuff. So yeah, yeah, I like the setup
Yeah.
a lot. I'm gonna move the brake back to 50 to 50. Okay.
Uh,
So
try it. See how it works for you. Yeah.
if the race we're running is at 1600 GMT, the race is at noon.
At noon. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I would verify that as well. I just posted what ChatGPT gave me.
But
No,
that's
yeah.
4 hours. Is oh, that's weird. Okay, but I think they changed the time this weekend in the UK. Because right
Okay.
now I cover the UK for my work, right? And
Okay.
it's not 4 hours. Well, it's changed this weekend. So let's see on Saturday. Anyway, I'm there, right? I'll
Okay.
be there
Okay.
whenever needed. And so we got 1 hour for quali. And what's the format? You guys know? I don't remember last time. So it's 1 hour free qualify.
No, it depends. It could be like
It's usually 3 laps.
minutes. Yeah,
3 laps?
Yeah,
Wait,
3
okay.
laps.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
it's probably
Out
going to
lap
be
two timed.
yeah, it's probably going
Yeah,
to
it's gonna
be
be like the regular races. You're gonna get like a couple minutes of practice, and then you get like 3 qualifying laps, and that's it.
then you'll
I
get
think
two
the
then
lobby
you'll
will
get a
open up
yeah, you'll get a
like
couple
30
of
minutes.
after after you qualify, the race will start. It doesn't give you a long break between the two, so
So it's like when you race online, basically.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same process.
Exact.
Okay.
Kind of
Now
shitty
the
for a
rest.
12-hour, but whatever.
Yeah, well, we can practice before. I'll be warmed up and I try to stay out of trouble, man. That's the thing. Just run your race and stay out of trouble. Because last time we lost the most time, not because of our pace, but because being aggressive on cold tires and losing it and putting in the barrier.
Right.
And I'm speaking for myself here. It's those things. No,
We've
no,
all
it's
done
those
it.
things.
We've all
It's
done
all
it.
good.
So it's all good.
And
Yeah.
you got to crawl back, and then you got 5
Yeah.
minutes of repairs, and now whatever. If you had 2 seconds a lap slower, that's a bunch of laps you can be slow, quote unquote, to go to waste another 5 minutes. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
So
We did the math on all of our endurance races with us, and I am the slowest driver, but I had some of the top times or tied like very close to the top times of the team because I just didn't wreck. Like I just stayed, and I would let people pass me if they were clearly like I wouldn't try and battle anybody if they caught me, right? Like I'm like go around me, I'll
I,
draft off of you, save some gas.
Yep.
I just hope to stay out of trouble in the first laps because that's always when shit happens. In the
That is I was gonna say get if you can before Saturday, if you can get there's like the GT3 Regional Tour Americas that's at Sebring right now that I race, and it's like a 20-minute race, I think.
Yep.
If you I would race that a couple times just to get used to the start, because the first 2 times I did it, I just the because you start around turn 1 and it's people are just crazy. People will go flying through there and use you.
Yeah, we just gotta be a little careful.
I've been racing the production. I know there was a GT3 at Sebring, but I've been racing in a BMW. It's
Okay.
20 seconds slower, but
Right.
I've done, I don't know, 10 races on
Okay.
the BMW
Cool.
on Sebring.
Nice.
So I know where to leave people space so that
Safety rating it right now.
our safety rating is that 2.25 or something.
Yeah, so we got to be careful because we might not run anything really. Because if we get one bad race, we're a bit.
That's true.
For the race. Hey, crumpets. On a separate note,
Are you running
for
Crumpets?
Dirty?
No, I'll run the next one. I'm just here to eavesdrop for this.
Okay.
Cool.
So actually, good for you too, Crumpets. For you and Dirty. Dirty, were you going to show up to Daytona this year, or you don't have the chance?
Let's see for you and Anthony's event that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I had to buy a car. So
Yeah, well,
no.
hey, what did you buy?
CX-5 Mazda.
Nice.
Yeah, I needed a
Not
I
a
needed something
sports car. It's a
reasonable.
people
No.
mover.
Yeah. I needed something practical, unfortunately. The
Hey,
next
what are
car
you-
will be my irresponsible car.
What are you talking about? It's a zoom, man.
Yeah.
I drive the same
Yeah.
car. That thing is a monster.
Yes, yes.
It's a nice car, but it's definitely not a it's not a sports car.
Now, last year in Daytona, we had Cybertrucks and we had Porsche Cayenne GTS.
Oh man.
Wow.
Hey, I went out on track with the GTS. Oh, it's so wrong, but it's so right.
You'd be surprised what an SUV can do on track. Not long. Not
Right,
long.
right.
You'd be surprised what you can do. The
Uh,
Cybertruck was the most disappointing.
Oh, I'm
It's
I
sure.
was going to ask about the Cybertruck. Like, how terrible was it?
Well, no, it's actually it's a pretty incredible car, but it's limited to 113 and a half miles an hour.
Oh, they have like a
Mm.
equivalent of a governor on it.
Yeah, but we had the factory driver of what's the Tesla tuner called?
I don't remember.
You know, the guys that put it on Pikes Peak and stuff.
Oh,
And
I did
so
not know that.
that driver. So I know it's Randy Popes that they put in for the race, but
Nice.
the factory driver is another guy, and he was there, and he put the car in all the right modes. It's super efficient, man. You can go through corners. I mean, scratching your side mirrors basically, but the car is sticking to the road. Right?
Wow.
It's still ugly as is. I mean, it's the what I say it that way. But once inside and behind the wheel, as long as you stay under 113 and a half miles an hour, in which case you hit a wall, it's pretty capable.
I didn't like the car on track because it's a truck, so it's wide as all crap, and so it's electric, so it does 0 to 114 in no time, and so you're behind trying to catch it for the entire straight, and then he blocks you for the entire corner because he's slow as balls through the corner, and then he takes off like bullet. But yeah, we're gonna have 100 cars this year.
So you gonna be able to come?
Who's silent?
I know it's
When is it?
No, 13,
13,
13, no, 13 and 14.
13 and 14, Monday,
April,
Tuesday,
April.
Of April?
Yeah, I know it's a weekday.
Oh man, middle of the week's bad. Weekend would be better.
Unfortunately, it's Monday, Tuesday.
Every year.
Now on Saturday and Sunday in Celebration, there's the Exotic Car Festival. If you, I think it's free, right?
I think to go there is free.
It's in the streets of Celebration. There's going to be Ferraris, Bugattis.
Oh man, there's gonna be.
It's the third biggest
$1 million.
car festival in the United States. There's
That's this weekend?
Yeah.
Not this weekend.
No, next weekend.
The 11th and the 12th.
Yeah.
11. Okay, so 2 weekends from this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we're actually having our biggest year this year. So 100
We're
plus.
going to have
cars
100
track.
cars, and we're going to have cars from the organization again. So we'll have Ferrari, Lamborghini, and McLaren again.
Man.
And I'll bring the Corvette. So
And the Miata.
and the Miata.
Oh,
Good
that's
track
nice.
time. Zoom.
Okay, let me know when you guys are going out there. I go to Celebration all the time because that's where the moving I-4 forward office is.
Yep.
So I'm always going down there. So I'm used to it by now. So let me know when y'all are going down there. I might just go down and hang out for a little bit.
And otherwise, we'll be 2 days in Daytona. So that's your chance to get into a car. We're part of the instructor team, so we're bound to have space. I think it's $50 to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. But then after that, that's it. Anyway, wanted to pitch the story. We're not making a buck, huh? I'm just saying, I'm bringing my own car, paying for my tires and paying for my gas. But it's. I know nobody gets paid, and all the money goes to the kids. So
Yeah, you're gonna have to put me on the insurance.
That's cool.
Otherwise, I can't get gas.
as usual. Yeah, I take track insurance, but it's true. If I don't put my son on the real, then I'll need to go fill up the car myself.
Yeah, last year I did some questionable driving with the Mustang on the street. So
Anyway,
it was legal, probably.
he got stopped by the cops for making too much noise with the Mustang. Yeah.
Oh.
Did you pull a Jack Reacher?
Driving charge.
So what?
Did you pull a Jack Reacher? Have you
No, I
guys?
pulled out of my grandma's neighborhood and did 45 down Narcoossee Road, which is a 45 road.
And
And
first,
then he pulled me over and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to see that shit ever again. I saw you pulling out." I said it was traffic. I was pulling into traffic. There was no traffic. I have you on dash cam with you had to go through 6 cars to get to me, man.
That's how my son talks to the cops. But
I can't
it's true
see that whenever I get pulled over, I fucking start arguing instantly because I can't hate them. I fucking hate the motherfucker.
It's just
I'm like, yes,
some cars
sir.
attract
yes, sir, as well.
more attention out of
And he asked me 8 times if I knew that it's illegal to lie to a cop. And I'm like, as far as to my knowledge, this car is completely Stock.
What am I
It
under
was
oath?
about no, but I think we got measured at 110 decibels on the GT350.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it sounded so good, that car.
Yeah,
So good.
dude,
So
they do.
technically, it's stock because the GT350R doesn't have a resonator, and so we just cut ours out. So technically, it's the same.
Technically, it was technically almost true. Anyway,
Same, but different.
How did you guys
Anyway.
like that GT350?
it was an amazing car.
One of my
It-
good
I
friends
s-
in
I-
high school had the Roush
okay.
2004, 2005 Roush edition. Fucking
Yeah.
awesome car, dude. Awesome car.
Ours was a 2016.
2016.
Ours was a 2016. I didn't want a turbo, so that's why I went for the Voodoo engine. I wanted a manual. But last year I was in Daytona and I was playing with guys in McLarens and or GT500s, and I was just slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I drove the car to the limit of what it could, and I had a lot of fun. And then suddenly I didn't want a manual anymore, and I wanted more horsepower. Eventually, the Corvette has less horsepower, but it's a faster car because gearbox and everything.
Okay.
So we'll see what it gives on track this year.
Which
It's-
vet did you get?
The Z51,
Yeah.
Okay. The
Dry sound.
T8?
C8 Z51. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the road. It's a pretty good car. It's pretty impressive. I mean, impressive.
You remember
Launch-
Jess's C7 Grand Sport?
Right, but he sold it and he bought a C6 Z06 again.
Fuck that. I'll take the C7 Grand Sport all day.
No, I'm sorry. I
Basically the same
disagree
car.
wholeheartedly.
The problem of the C7 is that it was a torque converter that tried to play as a
really?
as a gearbox.
Oh.
Yeah. It was pretty decent, but it's still.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that viscosity, sort of weird plasticity to the
And
transmission.
so it eats 30 of your horses just because it's a torque converter and it's just not
Right.
proper. But the chassis was really good. I didn't understand why he did it, but the C6 Z06 is like a freaking beast. That's
7 liter. That's all I gotta say.
7-liter engine.
When
Oh,
that
yeah,
thing
it's-
starts, you know it.
That is,
Yeah,
and the
it's
rear tires on that thing, man. Yeah, I've never seen tires that fat.
If it's proper gearbox in the C7, then I would take the C7 all day. But
No.
considering
I
what
would
you
have
said, I get it. I
I
understand
would have
it.
done it with a manual, but not that one. And then the C8 is just the engine is in a different place. The gearbox is an 8, but it's proper, right? It's
Okay.
a dual clutch proper gearbox. The chassis is just better again. I don't know how they do it because it only has 505 horsepower.
No.
Yeah.
Was yours? No.
490?
495. I think.
495. So that's not a lot. I mean, it's not a lot. It's enough, but it's not crazy.
Mhm.
But it puts it on the road. I don't know, man. They work some real magic. We'll see on track what it does. I need to bring it for track alignment for Daytona. We pinch the front a little bit, and then we should have a proper car. All the rest is done.
Do you do your alignment yourself, or is there
No.
someone?
No. That's no. I'm gonna go.
Everything else ourselves.
We did everything ourselves. The rest, because where the Ford was a cheap car to maintain, relatively cheap. With the Corvette, there's a Corvette tax. It's just stupid. Like brake
Okay.
flush was
Okay.
So like we did the brake flush ourselves. I think the dealer wanted $800. Then we needed 2 extra quarts to protect the transmission when you do it in track mode.
Mhm. Okay.
And that's $80 per quart, and you can't get around it. But they
Yeah,
wanted
that's just what it is.
$600. Then the air filter, they wanted another $400. I quite literally found the OEM part on Amazon for $40.
Yep.
And so we spent $500 on doing the brake flush, the oil change, and air filter and the transmission pop up. And the dealer wanted $2,800 or something.
Yeah,
and
so-
it took me a whole day because to get to the
Right,
transmission, you got to take the air box out, and it's a mess.
And the whole trunk needs to go.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
the whole trunk needs to come out. But
eventually we bonded over it, and it was all good times or something. But also it's $2,000.
Yeah, I think I spent 8 hours doing the oil change and the top up with the transmission.
And
Because the top
mid-engine
of the
car, baby.
transmission, it's the airbox is in the back of the car, so you got to take the trunk out. Then there's a panel. Then there's 18 million connectors connected to the airbox.
No. It's a lot of work, but again, $200 an hour for a mechanic, dude. Ale,
Yeah.
the hell
Yeah,
are we talking about?
I went into the wrong fucking profession.
Well, so the thing is, the mechanic that works on your car that you pay $200,
Right.
he gets
right.
what, 25, 35 if he's lucky,
And
and all the
he
rest
better
is
get
for
more than
dealers.
that, because
Screw you.
$200
Give me
an
an
hour is
example.
more than my company charges for me as a professional PE in the state of Florida with 12 years experience.
Yeah.
But so the Ducati needs a belt change. The belt needs to be changed. They ask $185 per work hour, and I think in the end it comes out to $1,500 for a $30 part.
Yeah. And most of it is just screws to take off your, whatever they
Yep.
take off. But we just did it for something else. That's not highly qualified nothing, right? I'm not saying
Not
changing the
super skilled
belt.
work.
The belt itself is more qualified work. But all the rest, taking all the plastic bits off, honestly, no. Anyway, we'll have to do it. But we got a Ducati dealership in Ocala that quoted us $800
$700.
or $700, which is half. But I have to get it to Ocala. So now I'm thinking, nah, I'll just pay Orlando, right? But
Is that because they're in the hood in Ocala?
yeah, probably. Yeah. It's what, 3 hours from here?
It's 3
My-
hours.
It's 3 hours from here.
My
Yeah.
one of my like not one of, but like my big for cheerleading in Texas. Like he was my big mentor, I guess. He was from Ocala, so
Okay.
that's kind of why I said that. Him and his buddy were
Well-
from Ocala, and they're like they're not like thugs or anything, but like you know what I
No,
mean.
but it's the horse capital. It's the horse capital of Florida and
sure, I know that.
part of the U.S. Yeah, there's a lot of horses and expensive horses going around.
I've never
lot of
actually
big
been there.
races
I
out
just
there.
like like talking shit from what I hear from them.
No. But it's a little. I mean, it's rural. We can say that, but it's crazy. The thing is, also here in Orlando, 10 years ago was not the case. You had a BMW dealership and a Ducati dealership, and they would compete with each other. But now Daytona, Orlando, Sanford, the two Orlandos, is all bought by the same guy. They're all the same company. So there's no competition anymore. He cornered the market. He can ask what he wants for BMW and Ducati. So I'm saying the higher end.
Crazy.
The higher end metric bikes, as they call them, they're all the same guy. So he can ask whatever he wants.
Yeah, they got.
Or you got to go to a company.
Game
Capitalism
capitalism.
at its best.
Yes,
Endgame capitalism.
Capitalism works for the consumer because competition.
Yeah. If there's competition, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we got a
That's
plan
hilarious.
for Saturday. Crumpets, why are you not racing? You working? Or are you still setting up your?
Well, I'm actually on vacation this week, but
Okay.
I'm still working on getting my. I don't have my license yet because I've barely been on. I need to
Okay.
work on getting my my pre-monitor setup actually working correctly. Because right
Okay.
now it's got a lot of like, it's not smooth on the side monitors, and it's kind of making me sick. So,
Oh yeah. You went for triple monitor setup. Yeah.
yeah. So I got to figure that out first.
Yeah.
What are the specs on the PC, if I can ask?
The graphics card is a 480 Super.
Yeah, we have one too. We're the same.
And I can't remember the CPU. CPU's an Intel i7, I think. It's a few years old. It's like a 10,000 series, I think. But
I think you quite literally got the same crap as us.
yeah, like 32 gigs memory. So
Well, not crap. You understand my.
We bought ours 6 months ago. The fuck? Anyway, well, yeah, we went to VR. We went to VR routes because I didn't want to mess with the triple screen setup and all that. But if you have it, it's
yeah,
no
it's a pain in the ass to get it set up, but I'm working on getting it set up right. So,
nice.
and I don't really want to get on to it and like fuck around because it's kind of making me sick, especially if I'm doing like the open wheel stuff, even like the Formula V. That's what made me sick at Lime Rock, because the side screens are just kind of ripping and tearing, and I can see it out of the corner of my eye, and it's not like So I got to figure out what the problem is. It might just be that I need to lock the frame rate in at a lower frame, or it could even be just that the screens are, the settings have changed around so much that I'm not even sure that the screens are running at the proper refresh rate that they should be.
So when we're on the screen, we only have one screen. We're at 120, 144 frames.
Frames?
Yeah.
Whatever the max.
But on the VR, it's locked at 90 because the VR cannot display more. So 90 is.
Let me lock it at 90. Because I think it can do it at 90, 1080 or 2K, no problem.
Yeah, you're just having screen tearing, which is probably just you're asking. Sorry, you haven't put a limit on the frame rate, so the computer's doing more than it should. But
I tried again.
DLSS do you have on or whatever it's called?
I haven't even got into that too much yet. I need to work on it this weekend.
See, and this is where, and I said it for years, that you can't beat PlayStation. You get on, it's updated while you sleep. There's nothing changed. There's no bullshit. There's no updating. There's no looking online to find a solution for all the bullshit that you face.
All of the games are hyper fit for it too, so they all work like awesome.
Yeah, they're hyper optimized for PlayStation.
Yeah. That's why the Gran Turismo can run such good in the headset. It's not the best headset or VR headset or anything like that, but it's fucking optimized for
every single PC game is going to struggle.
But for the price, the VR headset is
for the price. For the price, it's very good.
120 refresh rate, and it's pretty.
No, like you said, it's optimized for it. So again, I was very happy, but I like the racing and iRacing just a little bit better. It's just more difficult. It's just.
I'll tell you what. I ran the first 5 laps. I was kind of like getting a feel for the game at Sebring and the 296 GT3. That's the first thing I did, and just the first 5 laps, I could tell the difference between Gran Turismo and iRacing. It's like you just have that little bit better feel for every input.
Yep.
The sound is better.
The sounds are good.
The sound on the interior cam of that 296 is amazing.
Yes.
No, agreed. That the immersion is just better. We run here in iRacing with the VR, and if you're in it for 35 or 45 minutes, and then you got a surprise crash, you just get afraid of hurting yourself.
Into your crashing.
Yeah. And it's really good. I think, and it translates really well to real life as well. If you're really good in iRacing, you're better in real life.
Yeah, has similar characteristics to what we would experience.
Yeah, the Miata is super loose. It's surprisingly loose in the rear, and it translates in iRacing. I was surprised by how loose the rear is in iRacing, but Don's car, we had to change the suspension. We had to change the suspension. We have better suspension on his car, and when we lose it, it's always the rear that goes. It's always the rear. And it's already better. So
Well, we have wider tires now.
We have better tires, wider tires. Let's see. I want to buy a Spic Miata. That's my and go endurance racing.
And that's the first and second gen, correct?
Yeah. But so the thing is, I'm mad at myself, but we could have bought one for 10K. Well, multiple. Wow. 3 times we were offered cars for 10 to 12K, and I'm like, yeah. And now the same cars are 17, 18, 20, 25. And we're 3 years down the road.
I went and looked at some online, and 10 grand's pretty cheap.
So it used to be 10 grand, but now the price is inflated. So we're looking at.
You got to find people to buy that shit now.
Well, so apparently, Well, anyway,
it's like a house. Like, oh yeah, my house is worth $3 million as opposed to $1 million, but who's gonna pay that?
Yeah, 100%.
The oil prices going up. If they stay up for a little bit, price of a Miata might go down.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Right now, I wanted to do the 14 hours of Daytona in Champ Car because it's quote unquote only $1,500 per stint. So you do a 2-hour stint for $1,500, arrive and drive.
Plus practice.
And the practice. So I know it's money, and I know, I mean, it's thrown away
Does that
because
cover insurance and everything?
no insurance,
okay.
but insurance. Okay, but insurance on a Miata is peanuts for the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I insured the GT350 last year for $300 for 2 days.
Oh, really?
That's not
Dang,
bad.
I've never
That's
Yeah,
insured a
not
no,
car
bad.
no,
for racing,
it's
so I
That's
figured it was way more
Haggerty.
way
than
worth
that.
it.
That's
Haggerty. No. You do Haggerty.
Haggerty. Okay.
Yeah, and they cover. They don't cover. Well, so the thing is, this is for track days. This is not for race. If it's timed events, it's a different rate
okay.
Okay.
because racing is more
Buddy.
dangerous, right? People are, and especially in the Miata races. I don't know if you've seen Miata races, but that's bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper all the
Yeah.
They're
time.
fucking
I
wild.
love those races. They're on here. They're some
No
of the
kidding.
most fun
From
races as well on
2 years
iRacing.
ago,
Awesome.
they
They
changed the
are.
spec,
They
and
are.
as in real life, they changed the spec of the car and they gave it curved down exhaust because they would melt the front bumper off because they're driving so close to each other
Yeah,
that the exhaust would melt the front bumper off. So
that's fucking
Shit.
awesome.
they put curved tips on to avoid that happening. Yeah, that's how close they are. Yeah, that's really cool. Anyway, good. We're set for Saturday. We'll see what happens. And then Crumpets, next time you're in.
Yeah, what's the next race? Do we know
How
yet?
about you, Ren?
No
Let's
idea.
see.
Let's get it. Let's get a team together
Well,
and just yeah.
we don't. I think it's a little while until we have the full, but we normally try and run all of the endurance races throughout the season, and the first one is this weekend. But we have this 12 hours, so I might run it by myself, or if someone wants to on Sunday, run the 3 hour. Because my plan is to try and run all of the endurance races throughout the season. So they're three
And
hours, but
usually when do the 3 hours start?
Yeah, during the week.
So
they're
What
Friday through
time?
Sunday, so we have like 4 or 5 different times to pick.
Oh, okay.
Same as normal, but they're 3 hours. So if we were gonna do like 6 people or so, we might want to do 2 teams so everybody gets a 1 hour stint. You know what I mean? Because they're 3 hour endurance races.
It could be cool because that's a stint. That's a gas tank basically.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Depending on
That's how we were running. We were running it 3 of us most of the time before. So, and then we would just run 1 stint each, and it typically works out pretty well in that way. That's just something I wanted to do, and then also run the longer endurance races when they come up, the 24 hours of Daytona, like all that kind of stuff. We did that last year as well, so I would like to do that again, but take it a little bit more serious. Last year was the first year. This year, I don't care about how we place, but like I want to try and be more consistent and stuff. So
Well, so like we were talking about earlier, just let people buy that want to race and end up 5th instead of 15th because we didn't crash.
because one of these days, my plan has been to fly down, like legitimately me fly down and race with you guys at one of the events or something like that in real life. So this is kind of what I've never actually raced a real car. This is kind of what just like when I fly airplanes, this is kind of the practice before I actually get in the car. And if I did that, I would go get in a real car.
If we have a real, I was offered, but I can't for Daytona. Apparently, Daytona for champ car, you have to have run a champ car race before. But we could have a BMW E46 for $2,500 a stint, and then if you fill it out, if we have an online team, just a minute. If we could have a Miata for what is it then, 6K for the event?
6 or 7 for the event.
But it's arrive and drive, huh? And if the event is Saturday, Sunday, you get 1 or 2 days practice. It's all included. There's mechanics, the tires, the brakes. Arrive and drive. If we have our own virtual team, if we want to extend that to real life, and we know a couple of guys as well, we would have our own car. We would have our own team. Because my fear is just getting into a race with a bunch of jackasses. And if you're third in line and one of the first 2 crashes the car,
you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's the kind of thing we used to do. And Crumpets is here. We used to do endurance racing in go-karts. and we would have our own team, and we can always crash, and we did crash or we broke something. But you know the people, you know how they race, you have a strategy, you play like the big boys, and usually it played out really well. And if you want to do then the racing, there's companies that do it for not too much money, and the car is safe. The car is usually pretty performant. Open throttle racing, they place regularly in the top 3.
Well, here's what I would do, to be honest. This is the kind of person I am. I would let you guys figure all that out and tell me how much
Okay.
I owe you, and then I would show
Oh,
up and do the shit,
okay.
and then pay the money and be, you know what I mean? Like,
That's exactly why I say arrive and drive, because we've been
Yeah.
playing now for 3 years in buying the car and doing everything ourselves because we could. But the pain, it's not the problem is not the money. The problem is the pain. You got to store the car, you got to maintain the car, you got to trailer the car, and then you got to find a mechanic that wants to. Because we're doing this for a hobby, but if you want a mechanic 24 hours for yourself, you need 2, right? Because they need to sleep as well. You got to pay 2 guys to sit up on a bench for basically 22 of the 24 hours, right? Right. But that's part of it. So I'd rather than have a professional team that has 5 or 6 cars. Open throttle racing have 2 BMWs and 4 Miatas, usually. So they're there with 6 cars. There's 4 mechanics. They have the trucks. They have everything. You just come there, you drive, you sleep, you drive again.
And most of the equipment, if you need a suit or something or gloves and shit, they usually have it, and they have the whole.
So let me figure that one out, and then we'll try to organize. Like I said last time, we talked the track day.
It's for
Yeah, that'd
me.
be dope.
For me, it's going to be a little bit down the road right now, but it's like a plan that this is kind of what I've been planning since I got iRacing, because I wouldn't.
That's why
I wouldn't
but that's
pay
cool.
for iRacing if I didn't, because I do it. I was talking to your son. I've talked to you before. I fly airplanes, and I have my I can solo right now. I quit. It's been a year or two since it's been 2 years since I've flown, but like I'm gonna get back into it here soon. But before I flew, I have 15 hours. But the very first time I took off and landed, because I did like 500 or something hours before I even got in a real airplane on Flight Simulator. Like I bought the setup and shit. So that's the idea with this, is like I drive this as if I'm driving a real car. Like like Dirty can attest, like I don't even want to scratch the thing. Like if someone gets close to me, like, hey, like I don't want to put a scratch on it. Like I race, but
that's where there's a difference between sim and real life anyway. I've been in cars, and I'm about to start, and I wonder if I know how to clutch, because there's an element of stress. You don't know the people around you, all that. But that's why I'm good either in the beginning of the race or the end of the race, because once the flag or the lights go green, I don't think anymore. I'm just 100% hormonal.
I can attest to that.
I take the gap. I'm not as clean I'm not as clean or fast as Crumpets, but in the endurance races, I didn't lose too many times passing people. So that was really good. It was really good. So let's continue talking. But I'm 100% willing to help you, help you on the way.
We'll start with these, and then we'll see where it goes. I mean, I don't try and push much either. I just let life happen, right? So if it happens, it happens.
Well, yeah, I'm older than you, and if I don't push now, it's never gonna happen anymore. So
I'm still totally down for the track days. I just have had my timeline pushed back a little bit because of the car purchase, but I'm still down to come down and do the track days with you guys.
Tell us when.
$1,200.
It's $1,200 for a Miata for the day, for a spec Miata.
Yeah,
that's not per person. That's for the car.
That's for the car, and then what do you add?
Add $200
for the firm,
you guys,
for the track, for the firm. But we usually were 3. The most we did was 4 people per car, but we took 2 cars. It was 8 of us over 2 cars, and in the morning, people are a bit jumpy because everybody wants to get in the car, and in the afternoon, the 2 cars just sat there because it's a lot of driving, and 30 minutes on a track in Florida.
It's a lot.
And then the cool suit stopped working. Yeah. Then 20 minutes is good enough. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I just went. If you want to go, you can go. Yeah. But the cars are available. Yeah. I'm taking a break. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we can again. I think 3 per car is the perfect ratio, and that's $400 for a car for the day. You cannot beat that doing your own car. There's no way. There's no way. So if your guys are game for that, we'll do the same. I'll get 2 cars, and then you just got to pay for the track and that's all. But it's all open. There's no money sticking anywhere, and Crumpets can attest to that. Money is not the thing here. Nobody makes a dime on that. And we can all have fun, and then you take a break for lunch. We all go for lunch together, come back, have a couple more hours, and then the successful day is when you ran all day, right? And you drive the car home. In this case, the car goes back in the trailer, and you go back home, and you got nothing to worry about. So we can set that up whenever you guys want. So let's just make it happen.
When's a good time of the year for that?
Anytime
from now till I don't know now.
I'll post pictures of Sean's first track day ever in Discord. It was hosing. It was hosing. You could barely see the car, and
I was scared to death.
In Belgium,
it was my brand new car.
It was in Belgium. They say you learn more in 1 day in the rain than 5 in the dry, right? Because you'll find the limit. So now you got to take what you get anyway. So and it's always street tires, because the spec Miata is not on slicks. I've tried to get them, but the spec rules are street tires. Right?
Yeah, they're.
So you would be good. You would be good. Yeah, you would be quite good. Goodish in the rain anyway. Except if it's Florida.
Hosing.
Yeah, hosing. In that case.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But you got the dew in the morning, and you got the monsoon in the afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah. But again, it's part of the game. So I would say the cheapest is going to be the firm. We can do Daytona. There's enough. Or Sebring. There's enough organizations that go. We could do Chin Motorsports or.
Yeah, but then just be aware, like Chin Motorsports for like Sebring, I think it's $800. Entry, and then it's so the firm is $200, but then it's Sebring is $800 plus $150 per driver.
Yeah, because the track is so much more expensive to rent as well. Like to privatize the track, Daytona. How much is it for the car in Daytona? 1200? No.
Well, this year I think the organization paid 50 to 70 grand just to reserve it for those 2 days.
Yeah, and they're asking 2,200 per car.
They're asking 2,200 per car for the 2. But this is a charity thing, so it's not as. It's more expensive than what it would normally be, but
it's 2 days also, right? So not a lot of events are full days.
It's 2 days, and usually. The class of cars that show up there, man. Don't worry.
Because it's expensive. It's Ferrari, McLarens, and Porsches, right? And
it's super
so
organized. But
if you have a Ferrari, I mean, back in Belgium, I was part of an organization where it was 400 horsepower or more. They didn't put a name on it or anything, but 400 horsepower or more kind of eliminated a lot of the soapboxes, right? Because, like the organizer said, he sold his business. And he said, I buy a Ferrari, go to my first track day, and I got a kid in his Miata, and he paid 10 grand for it, and in the first corner, he dives bombed me. I mean, right?
Not a good situation to be in.
No, it isn't.
He doesn't give.
So when did y'all's race start for Sebring?
So I think like 11 for practice. Yeah, the race started.
In the afternoon?
Yes.
Yeah, at lunch.
Morning, afternoon.
12 noon.
Okay.
If you get your screen in order, and if you want, there's always room.
Yeah, you could probably race with half of the screen better than I could with a host.
Just be aware that if you do the race, you're going to that's it. That's your only commitment.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I was
let
gonna
us.
say, if you needed
No.
it, like I could always hop on and sort of like not drive. Just I don't think I have the current license that is needed for that yet. But
I mean, I'm sure we'll be in the Discord. I'll be in the Discord channel when I'm driving. So anybody in here would be welcome because I actually like that company when I drive. I don't mind having a discussion. That's fine with me. Like, as long as it's not a crazy discussion, but like talking and stuff like right
Don't
now.
talk to me in the braking zone. Don't talk to me in the braking zone.
Like I've been driving for part of the time. A lot of the time we've been talking on here right now.
Oh wow.
Don't ask me any complex questions while I'm driving.
yeah, I have to learn like all the UI and stuff for observing the races since we're doing kind of like this team thing.
Yeah,
So I don't know if
Do you have it open right now?
I'm actually not on right now.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I'm on the track. You can go and try it right now with me.
Yeah, but so what we'll do is I don't know if it'll allow us to do. Hey, we'll send you guys, and then we'll put you as a trusted spotter. And usually in normal race, it allows you to join as a spotter, which shouldn't force you to drive because if you don't drive with iRacing, is anybody that's signed up needs to drive at least like basically usually it's a stint. Otherwise, we get disqualified at the end of the race.
Are you going to be on tomorrow night, Crumpets? I can show you how to do all that.
3 wide, left side, clear on the left.
If I am, it's going to be kind of like late Eastern time.
Well, I'm just gonna
Or I honestly don't know because I'm hanging out with my old roommates tomorrow and from college, and they love to talk. So I never know if I'm going to leave there on 8 p.m. or midnight.
The Centenario.
Centenario?
100 years, I think. Okay, well, so since we're all good with everything, my dad and I are going to go. Have a good night.
You too. See you.
I propose the competition if everybody has it. IndyCar is at Barber Motorsports Park this weekend. We should all do just like 10 or 20 laps in the IndyCar that comes with iRacing and just see what our best time is and post it.
Oh,
right on.
Talking about the Skip Barber one?
Barber Motorsports Park with the what do they call it? The Legacy IndyCar. It's not the one that has the windscreen on it. It's the open cockpit, totally open.
Yeah. So for your reference, Crumpets, anything that says Legacy is not being used in any racing series. So unless you really want it, don't buy it.
Well, it's already part of the.
Yeah, I know. I'm just letting you know because there's like 15 or 20 cars at the bottom that are Legacy cars.
Legacy's yeah, it's exactly what Legacy means. It's the Legacy car.
Yeah, just making sure you knew that.
Not the modern one, not the current version.
Okay, have a good night.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Bye.
Boy. I think that'd be kind of cool. See how we all.
I think that's a good idea. So Crumpets, like whenever I'm in like spotting for people, what I'll usually do is I'll watch from the blimp view, so that way you can kind of see what's going on around them. And if somebody's coming up, give them a little bit of a heads up so they're not having to check mirrors and all that shit.
Yep, that was my thought exactly. Kind of like almost like a crew chief / spotter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like to kind of make it where the people driving the car don't have to worry about much of anything other than driving the car.
I would request if you do spot or you do spectate, don't jump in the spotter seat.
The crew chief seat, yeah.
Don't jump
Your
in that.
spotter stops talking.
The spotter stops talking, and then it pulls up like something on the UI. I haven't figured it out, but like I can't see part of the information that I need directly.
So I could go with the crew chief spot and not the spotter spot. That's what you're saying.
No, if you go in and you watch, it'll have a button that you'll need to click on that'll say start spotting, and you can spectate without spotting. So when you get in, you'll be spectating, and you'll have a button at the top that'll say start spotting, and you don't want to click on that start spotting.
Okay, I got you.
That'll
Okay.
that'll give you access if you want. If like someone's like, hey, I only want half a tank of gas, you can click on that and change it for them. But if you stay in that, it brings like a pop-up up that blocks part of the information on our screen, and the spotter stops talking to you. So, which
Yeah,
is for me a big
okay.
deal because even if you're there, I like to have the spotter.
So we just want to like spectate because it doesn't take any information away from you if we just spectate.
Exactly, and we'll be in the Discord, right, in this channel talking. So you'll still be able to spot. It's just you won't have the controls of like changing the gas and stuff like that. But we shouldn't need to anyways because we're all running full stints, right? So it should be full fuel.
Yeah, all that
except for
seems
maybe
like
last-
Right, should seem pretty easy until the very end.
Yeah, it is. And even they do the fuel calculations for you, so it's like you really don't have to think about how much fuel you have to take.
Unless you've been like actively saving and you want to run hard on the last stint or something.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. I think Gran Turismo does the same thing, right? Like it's your average.
Yeah, they have that slider bar.
Yeah, so towards the end, if I race right before you do, it's going to give you your numbers aren't going to be, they're going to kind of be on whack because you're faster than I am, right? It's like the average. So, but it just depends on how much for that fuel you consume and like that. But we haven't ever had a problem with it.
Right side.
Okay.
Not the
Yeah,
Clear
it's pretty
Also
interesting.
could be- Yeah, it's a lot more like actual racing. Because like this is the kind of stuff that you would go through in go-kart racing, and if you haven't picked up on it just from the way that I treated the PARC series, like I'm all about the real life racing stuff.
Yes.
So like I get in the weeds and all these details, probably way more than I should. But
No,
I mean,
it's
that-
perfect, man. I like to know
Did,
the
why we were
details.
so good about the World Series and go-kart. Because
Have
we're
you
prepared
tried-
all the time, and we had a plan, and we had backup plans.
Yeah. Okay.
I like
you
all
tried
that
my
stuff,
setup
but
for-
I just prefer other
For
people.
Sebring.
No, I've still only done those like 20 laps
Okay.
in the default setup. I did just 2 runs on the default setup before I started playing with you guys the other night.
Okay.
I haven't been back on. My dad actually came over and we started painting. So
Right.
finally got. All I got to do is paint the crown molding, and I'm pretty much done with house projects.
That's cool.
Don't have any pending house projects after this. So that's like the first time in 6 years.
Oh, lucky you.
That's nice.
My shit is never gonna-
Yeah, I haven't started my big house projects yet, so that's the.
Oh, I still have a couple that are like on the waiting list, but they're not started yet, so I'm not counting.
Yeah, mine are like deck, bathrooms, and kitchen. So it's like.
Yeah, mine is windows, porch, and entire living space / close the living room into a study / office. And have to rearrange like my whole entryway into my bathroom and all that. So it's like I want to do that. I got it all laid out. I got blueprinted, but need drawing on fucking construction PDF stuff. But yeah, haven't started it yet. So
Yeah, I got an unfinished basement. And the house was only built 5 years ago, but we like did a lot of the work ourselves, like putting in the floors and stuff like that. And we ran all the wires and we put the heated floors in. So it's like we put the water filtration system in. It's like
heated floors.
it's a
What
work.
the fuck is that?
What'd you say?
I said heated floors. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
I'm just-
first of all, I live in Canada. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So during the winter, that shit is necessary.
Damn right. Hell yeah.
It probably should be towed up there if it's not.
All right.
Well, we actually use it. It's more efficient for the house as well, right? Because the house is heated. I mean, even my garage, the basement is all electric heat that way, so we don't have to have a central heating unit or anything in the house, right? And each individual room can be set to its own temperature. So it's awesome.
That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like I'm from Indiana and I lived in Texas. And I like the Florida type of heat, not the humidity, the heat. But like Texas was awesome because it got hot as shit, but it wasn't near. Well, I lived in Houston for a while. That was bad. But, it wasn't.
It's right on the Gulf.
Yeah, because it's right on the Gulf and it's that nasty water too. So it's not like Florida, but similar. If I could say that. But when West Texas though, like it's dry heat, that I love. Like, so for me, my basement is at like 80 degrees at all times. My wife is like, how does it keep so hot?
Yeah, and it's kind of nice because the basement can actually hold that kind of heat, right? Because it's underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I gotta.
not like it. You got to bend an arm and a leg to keep it there.
I love having a basement.
That's one thing I've always thought about, like having. I thought it would be intriguing to have basements, but
Basements are the best. Dude, I love them.
Yeah, living in Central Florida my whole life, unless I'm going to go live in Sinkhole County over there in Lake County, then I'm not going to do it because
And you want to know
the waterproofing will be insane.
They're not very expensive up north to build because they already have to dig the foundation of the house. And it's not like dirt down south like in Texas. Like you don't find basements in Texas because the ground is so hard. So you won't ever find it. In Florida, you guys don't have basements because
it's all sand.
Water
you guys have stilted houses. That's your basement.
Yeah, it's water table is the reason we don't want to deal with having to keep the water out of the basement.
It's like I don't have a basement, but my house is on 30-foot stilts, so I essentially have a 30-foot first floor.
Yeah, and then like you're talking about in Texas, it's a lot like they don't get a lot of rain, right? So
yeah,
they get at least compared to Florida, they get what like 20 inches a year. We get 3 times that much.
Yeah.
So
in the totality.
Yeah, so it's a lot of
so fucking large. You know? Like Houston, hurricane and a lot of water, but still comparatively to Florida, like in totality, I don't think it's quite as bad. No.
Yeah.
It didn't
Well, that's
rain
just like a
really.
Hurricane Harvey, and you end up getting like 4 feet of rain in 3 days.
Fuck that.
That's a particular event, though. Yeah, fuck that shit. Or like a Hurricane Helene a couple years, or what was that? 2 years ago, went up to the Carolinas, and now there's like some towns that literally will never exist again because they completely washed away in flash floods.
That washed away about a half-mile section of I-40 going from Tennessee to North Carolina, about 45
Yeah,
minutes.
that's just fucking crazy, man.
Yeah,
that shit's fucking wild.
Washed the interstate straight off the side of the fucking hill.
Yeah, I
it
think
was
that
gnarly.
everybody up there that tried to compare like blizzard to the mass flooding of hurricanes may learned a lesson on that one, unfortunately.
Oh shit, the people here they don't know about snow. They've had like a big snowstorm in the last 25 years and they're like, oh, the fucking snow. Oh.
We got damage on the front end.
Y'all don't get any of the bad shit then. You're kind of right in the middle of where you get a little bit of everything, but nothing terrible.
Yeah. Well, but when bad weather does come, it is pretty gnarly. Just the way that the mountains are set up and, flash flooding, that kind of shit. So, I mean, some of it is gnarly when it happens. Like when the hurricane came through, it did fuck a lot of shit up. Just washed all sorts of stuff out. Just because the terrain, the water's got to go somewhere.
Right, y'all aren't set up for that. Like, even if it floods in Florida, like Hurricane Ian fucked us up. Like my house got 20 inches of rain in less than 24 hours. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it is.
But like, it was fine. I wasn't flooded. None of my neighbors were flooded. A school in a neighborhood down the road was flooded because they were kind of in a low-lying area of a tributary style, like creek going to the Econ River. But other than that, if you're not in like a river floodplain zone, in Florida, you're gonna be fine. Up there in the mountains, totally different story.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I live.
Totally
I'm 180 feet up from wherever the fuck it's gonna flood at my place.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the top of my watershed, so if I'm flooded, everybody's fucked.
Right.
That's how my house is where I'm at right here. We live on a river, and the river floods every couple of years, or it just really depends, because we live in between two dams, and when it rains a lot up here, when we have a lot of snow and it melts off, they open the dams to relieve pressure on up above, and it's gotten to like the lip of my land, which is up. So if it gets up to the lip, like the edge of my land, which is the highest it's ever been, but when it gets up there, we have like all of our neighbors are just about below us. So all of their
they're
land,
feeling some pain.
Yeah, their land and stuff all gets flooded and like that. Like their houses are built to absorb that because they've been living there for a long time. But it's like they can't. They have like shipping containers and stuff, but they all have to be chained down because when the water gets up that high, it floats them, right? And all their shit will get floated if not. So, but it actually does even get high enough that it has covered our road, and because we live in between a mountain and a river, so like literally, the road is. There's like a 5-foot ditch that's about 3 foot wide, and then the mountain starts. And then you have like a dirt, just barely 2-car dirt road. And then you have my land, and then right at the edge of my land is the river. So it's like we're squeezed right in there. So whenever the river floods and stuff, it all gets banked up right there on the road. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
That's one thing about living in Florida. I do not envy those of you that live in flash flood zones.
No.
Pretty good.
Flash floods are fucking terrifying.
We don't have flash floods. That's lucky for us. We don't have flash floods. It floods, but like we know when it's gonna happen because, like I said, they open it's when they open the barrage and everything. So they give us warning, like, hey, we're gonna open it, so if you need to chain your shit down, chain it down, so it's not really like a flash flood, but it's just a big flood.
Yeah. They kind of even, like, around here, they kind of tell people when people know when it's going to happen. I don't even really think they give them proper notice, but
yeah, for you guys probably just know with the weather, like, it's a hurricane.
Yeah, because when the hurricanes are coming, when the hurricanes are coming, they're like, this is going to be a slow mover. It's going to dump water rain. Then, they start draining the lakes. And so, at least the ones that are actually controlled. So they start draining them. And some of the creeks that go between the lakes that head to, like, St. John's River, they get pretty fucking high when they do that. And it almost floods out residents.
You know what's a flash flood town that I lived in? I lived in for a couple of years. I just thought about this, is Houston, because I drove from the north
side. It can be.
I drove from the north side to the south side, and it's not necessarily because of like it's around water and they get hurricanes and stuff, but their drainage system is shit, dude. The way they built it and everything. So they're way under designed.
That they didn't that. I've read a whole lot about that after Hurricane Harvey, being a civil engineer.
Oh, yeah. See, I think Hurricane Harvey, what year was that? That was
2019?
2019, okay.
Maybe? It was in that range, at least. It was between, like, 19 and 20. I think it was pre-COVID.
I moved to Texas in 2009, which was right after Hurricane Katrina, right? So, was that right? Yeah, that was right after. Or right around, something like that. So
yeah, Hurricane Katrina was 2005 because it was the year after all of the Florida triage of storms.
There you go. I couldn't remember exactly. So I moved in 2009 after that, but even after that time, there were quite a few hurricanes that came around when I was never hit like that one, obviously, but that thing when I went through Louisiana, even in 2009, you could see like crazy amounts of next to the rivers and stuff of damage and destruction from that flash flood, even after 4 years. It was pretty crazy to see that kind of stuff. But then going to Texas and experiencing that, like, that is when you actually have like the thought, like a potential hurricane coming through and the skies are all like like cotton candy pink and stuff, and the winds are going crazy, and then you have a flash flood of like we had where it was like my last year there, the water got up to the like midway on my door of my car in the road and everything. So like that kind of shit I did not enjoy. Actually, I hated Houston, to be honest with you. Like, it was a cool on the outskirts of it, it was cool, but like the actual city and stuff like that, I didn't like it at all. Dallas was quite the same.
Yeah, they have like a lot of canals and stuff where they try to just like route the water, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so they don't have anywhere to actually store the water. They're just trying to like route the water to the ocean, basically.
And then
yeah. Oh, yeah. So once that like gets to a certain level or reaches a certain capacity, you're fucked. And the problem in Texas is that, like we talked about earlier, Texas is very clayey soil in the upper strata. And so, and like we talked about previously, they don't get a lot of rain. So those clays become desiccated. And when they become desiccated, they become hydrophobic. So they just repel the water, like nothing absorbs. Basically, the water just sits on top of it and runs off. So, and the soils in Texas are not conducive to mitigating flash floods. Unlike Florida, because we have a lot of sand, right? So the sand just percolates through it until you're fully saturated, and then you're fucked.
Yeah. We don't have to worry about that. We just have to worry about the land from underneath of us still being there.
Yeah, and that's the other part of that.
Away. That's it.
If you have somewhere where, like, say there's some weird strata. I'm a geotechnical engineer, so this is like my nerd out session. So
go ahead.
So like if they have some sort of weird strata that like goes into the ground that's more permeable than the clay stuff, then when that's going to allow water in a flood event, right? And so then I talked about all the clays being dry, and so they're strong when they're dry, and then when they hydrate, they become weak. And so then you have landslides and shit, because you have these other you'll have these other strata that carry water that otherwise water wouldn't be there if that strata wasn't there. And on its interface with the clayey soils, it saturates those and they become weak and they just slip. So
it's like two slabs that have like slippage in between them. That's kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. So then you basically just have like two pieces of concrete, or it's like when you put a glass on your countertop and it's got a little bit of a layer of water on it and it floats around.
Yeah.
It is just like that.
Yeah, I got you.
So then it splits and you end up with like these hill failures and stuff.
Kind of like an earthquake with lube.
Yeah.
Or like an avalanche.
Instead of the two rocks having rough sex and creating a bunch of rumbling, they're all nice and lubed up, so they just slip.
Yep.
They just slip right in.
Have a good old
dude, honestly, I'm not. I nerded out over it a little bit, and I'm a huge space nerd. Like one of my dreams is, the reason I fly is because one of my dreams is to actually go into space. Like
Do you play Kerbal Space Program?
What's up?
Do you play Kerbal Space Program?
No, I haven't played that.
I fucking love me some KSP.
Really? I've never played. Listen, dude. I'm one of those nerds that like I don't nerd out over it as like I play the games and all of that stuff. It's just I'm the nerd that like I actually want to go and do it in real life. Does that kind of make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like that's my I'm like a fitness guy, and like I'm more of like a like that's why I say with this racing too, like I enjoy racing on the rig, but if I don't have like a real goal for it, I feel like it's a waste of time. That's why I said, like, for me, I drive this as if it's a real car, or I try to, because if I got the idea for me is to actually one day get in a real car, and actually be in a race, right? And I like take that kind of serious. So the space thing and all of that. But what I was saying is, the reason I was saying that is because when I was in high school, I took Earth and Space, right, as like an extracurricular, and it was the only class I got like a 98% in, and I was the only person that the teacher of that class ever had as a student assistant. So that was like really cool. But he was like, "Oh, you know a lot about it," but it was never. It was always interesting to me, and I love talking about it. But also, it's boring as shit. Like talking about rocks and shit like that, and geometric shapes is boring as hell to me. I always just wanted to go and punch someone in the face, or you know what I mean, and then but nah, that's awesome, dude. So if why is that also why oil is more prevalent in Texas, is because of the way the land is and stuff?
I mean, oil's a biological thing, so I mean that's based on history,
Oh, okay.
geological history.
So like that okay, just reservoirs underground and shit.
Yeah, that's old dinosaur shit. Ask the dinosaurs about that.
Ask the dinosaur. I mean, I kind of understand. I did water wells and stuff like that, but I just didn't know. I guess I would have to. I don't know enough about it. Ask the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, there used to be a big. Well, I guess it's the whole like Mississippi River basin, right? Like all that used to be a sea.
Yeah.
Now it's not filled in. So
yeah.
all kinds of.
Reading from up here how all of the like rivers and lakes and all of that were created when the glaciers melted and shit like that. And
Speaking of which, that's how they think the Grand Canyon was created, actually, not over a millennium, but over just a couple of extreme events like that of glacial melt.
Yeah, there was what was the other
Oh,
one?
wow.
The snake pit. Like I watched a me and my wife, we watched these documentaries. That's why I say I'm kind of a nerd. Like in this sense, we like to go to sleep and watch those type of documentaries about almost anything, right? So we've watched a lot of them. But
anything Earth and science, I'll talk to you all fucking day. I'm not as big a nerd as you'll find.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm a nerd. I'm just not like a studied nerd per se in it. Like I watch a lot of documentaries and stuff, but I don't actually know. Like I'm not a studier of it, I guess.
You haven't pursued it in academia.
Not at all, and not even really tried to pursue if what I'm watching is right or wrong, in more of the sense of if I watch 3 documentaries, I take like whatever average seems to be the best explanation or whatever, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah. So
it's just interesting.
So yeah, I watched that, how big of a deal it was, and how much the land was changed and stuff like that. There was another one I was trying to think of, like Snake Mountain or something like that. That was a big. They're like, oh, they're mountains through the east, and it's like a mountain region. And what they were saying is, based off of the look, this isn't a mountain region. This is where the land used to be, and it was washed out. So instead of these being mountains, it's actually like that's actually where the original land mass was supposed to be, millions of years ago or whatever. So, but it was washed away by the great floods and all that. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Who knows? Like all of the scourable materials above the rock were washed away in the floods.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. Essentially, yeah. Okay.
Potentially, or something like yeah. Kind of, I guess you kind of would understand. And I'm not talking about all mountains, right? But I'm talking about like certain pathways of mountains to the East Coast and stuff like that. So. But
yeah, and the thing about water is once it finds a path, it's always going to want to, path of easiest resistance. So
yeah,
Once
I
it
said,
finds that path, it's gonna root it out.
like I said, my grandpa, I was fourth generation pump and well service, so I did that when I was growing up until I was like 18, 19. No, until I was 21 actually, with my grandpa and my dad and my uncle and them. And yeah, that's the exact right. That's the exact thing. It's path of least resistance. Speaking of that, we were talking about reservoirs of oil. The coolest thing that I ever found out, I thought it was bullshit for so long. Taking two branches, it has to be certain types of trees. I forget what type of trees, but two branches and putting them like in a straight line parallel to each other, and then going over a water source actually brings them to like cross, and you can get like two metal rods that do this nowadays. You don't have to use sticks. You can buy two metal rods for like $10. And I thought like forever when I worked with my grandpa, I saw these old dudes do this and everything. And I'm like, these guys are just, this is just some old witch thing. This shit doesn't work. And I never really found out if they actually found water or not, because like I wasn't part of the drill team, right? But when I got my house, I was like telling my wife's dad about it. They built their house next to us, and we had them drill, and we put in a pump and everything into it ourselves. But when they came out, he was like, "Oh, we don't really know where to drill out here. We don't have like a survey of a good survey of the land. You're next to the river, blah blah blah." And I was like, yeah, look here. And I took those two things and I found a spot, and I'm like, right here, you're gonna find water. And he was like, okay, if you think so, we'll try it. They drilled right there, and it was dead on. Like, yeah, it was dead on water. It was salt water though, which you were talking about old time. They were that's part of where I got into it, was when they talked about that. I'm like, how do I have salt water? I live right next to a freshwater river. So how do I have salt water here? And part of it was that it's an underground, or from what I understand, it's an underground reservoir from before the glacial melts and everything, where the land in the river was created, and that was actually covered up by other parts of land. So whatever truth there is to that, it's apparently like a old ass basin. There's probably dinosaurs and shit in there, right? It's like a big ass basin of water, I guess. So pretty cool stuff. You can learn about that with like 200 foot of drilling, or 300 foot of drilling, which doesn't sound like much, but that's a lot. That's actually a lot.
Yeah, we do that much pretty frequently around here, even in Florida. Think about 300 foot of drilling in Florida. That's pretty damn deep as far as like sea level concerned.
Yeah, that's really deep.
Yeah,
So,
that's normally when we're that deep, we're chasing like sinkholes and shit. So,
well, we were chasing a water vein, and that's where we were about at the end of it when we found the salt water and everything. So everyone told us around here that it was going to be like that, but I'm like, nah, not for us. It's going to be different. So we wasted a chunk of change drilling for it, but now we just ended up doing what everybody else did, and we just threw a pump out into the river and built like a badass filtration system. So
there you go.
like,
how much you end up paying for that drilling job? Out of curiosity, because that's like 40% of the business that I work for is drilling operations.
well, it was just water drilling, but it was, I think, for the 30 foot, because they put PVC in it. I think it was like 3,000, because you have to have the filter and the PVC to go in the hole, right, so it doesn't collapse. And
Yeah,
you put the pipe
and
in.
you were how deep?
What was that? 200? No, was it 300? It was in between like 275 and 300, I think. It was deep. It was real deep.
Damn. How long ago was this? 5 years? Because you said your house is only 5 years old.
Probably.
Right.
Probably around
5 years.
Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty cheap, actually.
Yeah,
That's a good price.
Yeah, that was. I could be off a little bit too, so it could have been a little more expensive, but I think that's that's where it was around, to be honest.
Like you're talking about needing casing for pretty much the whole thing, which is a little bit of a pain. So
Yeah, but that was before COVID and everything too, that we drilled it, right? So it was right
yeah,
before COVID. So
but you're
'cause-
you're only talking like $10-11 a foot though, so that's like
yeah.
that's cheap.
But yeah, dude, trust me, like when we built our house we got everything planned out and we started building right before COVID. And then we built through COVID and we were like, wow, we're not going to let the prices going up. This isn't going to last very long. Just keep going. And then, you know how building a house goes anyway, where it's like, oh, but we need extra for this and that and this. And by the end of it, like we were paying triple the price for the wood that we were originally paying because of like COVID and all of that kind of stuff. So,
Oh yeah, like a
it's,
2x4 got up to like $40 during COVID.
yeah, it was nasty, dude.
A
But
single fucking 2x4 was $40. A sheet of plywood was over 100 around here. Like it's fucking insane.
part of it was saved
Crap.
for us though because we didn't pay the highest of prices on all of it because part of it was saved because here in Canada it was obviously much more strict than it was in Florida, right? So there was a lot of time that they couldn't even work because like you couldn't even be within 5 foot of someone. So how are you going to work on a house? You know what I mean?
So why even bother buying the materials at $100 a sheet of plywood when you don't have anybody to install it?
Yeah, well, the company that we did, they had. See, the shitty thing is how the building of house works is they already had the supplies there, but they don't sell you all of the supplies when they buy them. They sell you as they build the house, because you get billed at the end, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they bought all this stuff for my house and it was sitting there, and instead of just me being charged for that, I was upcharged for it as they use the material. So it's I mean that's not there, like that's how the business works, right? But it's kind of like fuck. Like that sucks. I could have bought all the material myself, which is funny because I did this to like a local mechanic one day, which I didn't know it was rude, but I bought a piece for my car that I needed and I took it to him. I asked him first of all if he would work on my car if I bought the piece separate. And he said yes, but he thought I was going to buy the piece separate from him and then have him install it, is what he told me. I'm like, what do you mean? Buy it separate from you and then have you install it? It's like the same thing. But so when I got there, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this for you, but you can't buy an external piece and bring it to me and expect me to install it." I'm like, "I'm paying you more per hour than what you would if I paid you for the piece, but I'm paying less overall." So, like I don't see the problem with it. But I think because he was making a bigger cut off of the product than he was getting paid for that equivalent hour of time.
On the product.
What'd you say?
So yeah, because he's getting a markup on the actual product that you're installing on your car.
Yeah, it used to be like the time is what they would get paid more for, like, right? If it took 4 hours to do something and you could do it in 2, you essentially saved time, but you made more money per hour, right? Because you were able to do the 4 and the 2. But now I feel like the garages and stuff, even they were talking about like Mazda and shit like that. When you go to pay to buy something, I look at how much their manufactured pieces from Mazda, from the dealership, for them to install it, and then I look online for that same piece from the manufacturer. It's like half the price. I'm like, what? This company that's ridiculous. Like Mazda is the company that's getting that extra markup and stuff like that, and I'm paying why, I just sometimes I don't understand how companies can get away with that kind of stuff. I would get it if you were like doing a markup for like time. If you said, oh, it takes the guy 4 hours to put in, but I know it really takes 2, I'm okay with that because that's that guy's pay. But for Mazda to be getting that markup, to me, like when I saw that on my bill, I'm like, I don't even think
Do we know for sure they're getting that markup, or is it some sort of way they've changed the way they bill at like all these local shops, like an industry change? Like, it could be that in order for time, because labor has been the most, like you're talking about, the most expensive part of all this historically, right? So, like, maybe they've changed it where their markup on labor, as far as profit for the business, isn't as much of a component as markup on the parts that they get from the OEMs.
Well,
so maybe
yeah.
they're earning their profit margins on the OEM markup to cut down on people buying their own parts and all this shit. And then for people to just come in and have a little dumb shit work on their car would be less expensive, but they're keeping their people busy. So then maybe they're making their labor less expensive, but keeping their people busy. But then when they need OEM, like, this is just a hypothesis that I just came up with off the top of my head now. But in order to make the profit margins, they're making it on OEM parts rather than their labor. As far,
Well, it was a one guy shop.
Like, I don't know for sure.
But the Mazda one, because I bought my car from a Mazda and I had to have it serviced from there for a long time. That one is the one that really makes me mad, because I know for sure that because when they bill you, they put the guy's hours on there, and when they change oil, they ask you if they want to change the filter, and they give them a little extra time for that. It's like a quarter of an hour or something. It takes them like 2 seconds, but also you see the air
oil filter in like 15 seconds. So.
Yeah, you see that OEM filter, which you can buy at AutoZone, the exact same one at like AutoZone, right? Or it's not AutoZone here, but it's the equivalent auto parts store. And I look, and it's half the price. And okay, I'm okay with paying that guy, like, you know what I mean, that extra bump up for him to make some money, right? Like that doesn't bother me as much.
Or for him to have some health insurance.
Yeah, exactly. But around here we don't have to worry about that so much. But,
I know you're golden, but okay.
But they do have extra health insurance, like dental and stuff, that's not freely covered. No, anyway, but I'm okay with paying that. But for that markup product to go to Mazda is kind of the problem. And even if it's not them, if it's like the manufacturer marking it up for them so that they have to mark it up, that's still a problem for me, right? Like, that's corporate greed. And like we were talking about earlier, that is kind of capitalism in a sense, right? Like, they're just trying to make their investors, as an investor, I understand that. But also, like we talked about earlier, I'm more of a real down to earth, like, I want to make my money, but I don't want to screw people to make my money. Like, I'm okay with making less so that other people don't have to pay more for their products and stuff. But all right, guys, I'm gonna get off because I got to get up early tomorrow with the kids. So
ditto.
But I'm excited to do this 12-hour race. I've been looking forward to it now since you told me about it. So.
Do y'all actually have Barber Motorsports PARC or no?
I haven't bought it yet, but I will.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to run the IndyCar around that. That's going to be like my nerd out session this weekend. Other than like potentially helping on with y'all on Saturday to help with spotting and stuff.
Nice.
boys,
I gotta pass the fuck out. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, man.
I don't have it, but I'm gonna buy it too. So, yeah. All right.